Ooh, my camera's not. Oh, there it is. Lovely stuff. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on this Guy Fawkes night here in the UK to our first ever GT2 Miniature Endurance Championship. We're actually calling it the GT2 World Championship, and I've just noticed that the logo isn't coming up on the top left of the screen, so I'll have to get that fixed in a minute. My name is Anders, I'm the founder here at Pretty Ninja Racing. If you haven't been to our channel already, welcome. You're more than welcome to join in our events. Look at the link in the description below. Today we are at Spa in our GT2s. It seems to be the battle of Ferrari versus BMW. No one's risking the Porsche and its heavy tyre wear for this round. Understandable, as it's quite a long circuit and it is a 45-minute race with 200% tyre wear. So without further ado, let's go trackside. And there is the logo. Perfect. Let's move that down a little bit. Oh, we've even got some fireworks. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Sorry, I just had to take my jumper off. But yeah, welcome to round one of the Pretty Ninja Racing GT2 World Championship. We're calling it the World Championship because most of the circuits, well, you guessed it, it's around the world somewhere. As we take a look at the custom livery here by Letterme for Pretty Ninja Racing and the Ferrari today. The Porsche is the quickest car, but it is also the heaviest on the tyre wear if you don't know how to look after it. So got a little nice little buy sticker on the front there. Now in free practice, 66 was the quickest with a 2:19. Skyring just pops into P1 with the BMW. Is it just me or is it a little bit quiet? It's a little bit quiet, isn't it? Let's get that audio sorted. Get that sorted out. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? It's been a while since we streamed. It's been a few weeks now since we have hosted any form of full-on championship. Yesterday we had our 3-hour endurance race here at Daytona, hosted by our very own Jay Skyring, who is currently topping the charts at the moment, but 66 is yet to come across the line. Which was a very good event, our very first ever endurance race on Assetto Corsa, not Assetto Corsa competition unit. We've hosted one of those before, if you've seen that before. But yeah, we had a LMDH class as well as our GT3s, as someone just goes massively wide just to give Skyring a bit of space. But yeah, in the LMDH class we had Motorhome 3 take victory, followed by PS Course and P2, and our very own 66 taking P3, who is currently just on top of the leaderboards there by a good half a second. Oh, more than that actually, sorry, 1.3 seconds. So Skyring has got some time finding to do in that BMW. And in the GT3 class we had Motorhome Racing Esports team, followed by the AC Division team, and then Kush Panchik Race Department team coming across in P3. Oh, and Skyring loses it on the exit of the final turn. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And Korsk has also just gone into the pits, so is Skyring. It's only 18 seconds left of this free practice session. Then we get into the more heavy duty side of things. With the qualifying session. Only 7 drivers tonight. there'll probably be a few more over the coming weeks, but realistically in pre-ninja racing, if you turn up to each event each week, you have a very good chance of winning. But it's good to see some of the old gang come back together. As Coulson doesn't quite get chicane done right. Lloyd is on track in the nice blue and green BMW. And yellow rims. Gold rims, yellow rims. Gold rims, I would say, actually. Very nice. Let's see what sort of lap time. Locking up the front right there. Car number 44. It's not quite getting the response that he's probably looking for. And that's the end of free practice for him. No time set. And he tried going down into the secondary pit lane. And Coulson just getting as much track time in that Ferrari as possible. Does look rather nice, that Ferrari. Come around the final corner now to hopefully set a new PB. I just realised we've got some info missing. Yeah, there was a new PB there for Coulson, so that's good. But let's just get this sorted. We are missing a little bit of info. I'm not quite sure why that's there either, because I didn't ask for it to come back. So we want the timer, which should be up here, overriding that one there. And we should have this one here, which tells us which car we're watching. And hopefully they're deltas. I'm not quite sure why that's there, so I'm going to have to take a look at that in just a moment. In the meantime, here's some more of our events coming up in the near future. The Pre-Ninja Racing Season 4 of the Touring Car Championship will be coming back tomorrow evening at 8:30. Pretty Ninja are also doing their first ever Porsche Series Championship, particularly in the multi-class series. There on the World Sim Series website, which is license restricted. And as you can see tonight, we have round 1 of the GT2 World Championship Series as the cars just leave the pit lane to start their flying laps. Move my mouse out of the way. So they've got 10 minutes to get the goodies done. There's about a 2-minute 20 average lap time. 2:22 realistically. So they only have maybe 4 goes at it really. So they can't really hang about. They need to get out on track. And I think Lloyd has got the smart thing here and trying to get the toe of Skyring in front. Just see as he gets on the power, the front end just wants to push away from the apex. Bear in mind, he's a rear wheel drive, so he shouldn't really be doing that. So, some plentiful fireworks going on in the distance. Not quite sure why that is. I mean, it is Guy Fawkes night here in the UK, but as we just wait very patiently. apparently I need to edit my system files, so I'm actually going to do that because that is rather that's just annoying me up there at the top. So we're just going to quickly skip to our events as they start in their first hot lap, and we're just going to jump out relatively quickly. I don't know why it's all of a sudden just decided to come back, so bear with me just one moment. I'm in the files apparently, so bear with me. It's not the best time to have found this out. It wasn't there yesterday when I was driving in the 3-hour of our Daytona race, so this is rather annoying. Sorry for the slight technical difficulties. We shall be up and running in just a moment. Done. All nice and saved, and we would rejoin the action momentarily and see who is currently sitting on top of the leaderboard for the race. I think we did that under 2 minutes really, so I don't think we'll have a problem. So as it currently stands, ladies and gentlemen, Letterme is sitting on the top spot, but 66 has just gone through and done a 2:18.7. I don't think anyone's going to be catching up anytime soon. Letterme must be feeling pretty happy with that. The fact that he's going straight to the pits with 4 minutes remaining. Sobek coming over the start-finish line, getting a 2:23. Caused in the background there, coming across the line. No time set, so clearly had an off-track. What has Mark Coulson got up his sleeve? Now the timer isn't going up for Mark Coulson, so I'm going to assume he's had an off-track. Yeah, he has. So no lap time for Mark Coulson. Lloyd is in the pits. If he left now, he would have enough time to get another lap in. Don't believe that from the split, because I highly doubt that he's 1 minute 37 seconds quicker in Sector 1. Don't believe that for a moment. Now apparently this is a GT3 GTE car, but yet everywhere it says it's a GT2, so I'm not quite sure why it says that it's a GT3. Not sure. But we will have to wait and see how the balance sort of works. And to be fair, the balance looks pretty good really. It's just that 66 is a bit of an alien at the moment, able to get those great lap times in. A little bit slow to get the power down there. Clearly a little bit wary of the rear end of that BMW, and Skyring stays in P3. Letterme is back out on track. Lloyd is now coming out on track. He should have enough time. As Skyring goes into the pits, get some fresh rubber and go straight back out. Now Lloyd is on the mediums. I wonder if he realises that Kursk is also on the medium tyre, so those two will not be setting that quick a lap time, which kind of makes sense to why Jamski is 2 seconds down. And Sobek goes over the finish line. No improvements. Kursk does and makes massive improvements, moves up to P5, even on the medium tyre. So the medium tyre setting 222s, not bad at all. Again, this is saying that this is a GT3 GTE car, so not quite sure if the labelling is quite correct here on a set of courses, to be honest, or at least with the actual overlay package. So that's kind of interesting. Mark Coulson, what lap time do you have for us? A 2:24.4. I think Coulson can do better than that. Probably still getting used to the car though. Not really driven these cars. These were voted by the community for Sunday night's events. Not flat through the chicane or through Radion and Eau Rouge. So who is left out on track? Lemmy's on track, Skyring is on track, and so is Lloyd. They have to push to try and get that extra lap time in. But the reality is I don't think Lloyd's going to be any quicker, really. If he is, it won't be by much. Won't be gaining any positions at least. Not on the medium tyre. And locks up the right front. Going into the chicane. So at the moment it's looking quite evenly spread realistically between Team Ferrari and Team BMW. And you can see Skyring in the background there just coming over the start finish line. So we go on board Lloyd. Goes through the famous Eau Rouge and Radion complex. Flat out in the BMW. Carrying all that speed. Going to be heavy on the brakes. Right front locking up a little bit there, but manages to save it. Nicely done. Down the hill, awkward braking zone. Really easy to miss the apex here, but oh, bit of a drift. That's going to lose a lot of temps there for Lloyd. As Coulson just moves up to P6 ahead of Sobek by 3 temps, and that's Coulson done, and that's Skyring done as well. Lloyd is last on track, but realistically, I don't think there's going to be any gains. The number 44 BMW. Yeah, outbraked himself there as well. You can just hear that right front locking up. Just means that he's not quite lifting off the brakes quick enough to get the car rotated in as soon as he wants. It's all about a driver getting used to the car really and adapting themselves to it. And Lloyd is going for a jump and didn't quite get the job done, and that's the end of qualifying. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Wonder why that's up there. Is that real penalty? I think that is real penalty, isn't it? Really? Settings. Is that real penalty? That isn't real penalty. No. Let's pop that there. No. There. No. There. 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 Fine. There. There is fine. That must be a Assetto Corsa up there then. There we go. So as we wait for the clock to count down and for the drivers to go on the grid, let me just remind you of our up-and-coming events. Currently you are watching the GT2 World Championship hosted by P&R on the World Sim Series website. You can find us with the link in the description below. Tomorrow night we have the Touring Car Championship Season 4. We'll be using the World Touring Cars 2022 package, again hosted on the World Sim Series website. After that, on Wednesday nights, we will have multi-class Porsches, from Porsche Sprint to Porsche Cayman GT4s, all depending on your World Sim Series licensing. That'll be Wednesday night at 8:30. The cars are on the grid. 66 is going to be leading them into T1. We're just waiting for the 6 lights. So it's BMW, Ferrari, BMW, BMW, Ferrari, Ferrari, BMW. So really nice split. Coulson having a bit of latency issues by the looks of it. So here we go. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights and 6 lights. And off we pop for round 1 of the P&R GT2 World Championship. Looks like everyone's got a fairly clean start. For some reason, it looks like Jamsey's car has got a little bit of damage already. Oh, and Coulson running wide, and Lloyd is collecting with someone. We're waiting for this to hurry up. It isn't Coulson, it must be Kursk. So I think Lloyd must have lit up the rear tyres. It didn't look like there was any contact, but that's going to be some hefty damage for Lloyd to carry through this 45-minute race. Look at the front of that BMW, that's not looking healthy at all. And if we go on board, yeah, that's not looking great. But the important thing is that steering angle is still looking quite straight there. So Coulson is putting Sobek early on under pressure. The South African had a really good 3-hour of Daytona race yesterday. 66. Skyring, sorry, just moves into P2 past Ledemy. So it's BMW 1-2. And Coulson is still on the charge on the rear end of Sobek. And Collie runs wide, and so does Sobek, going through the long, fast left-hander. Now the Ferrari does look to be the flatter car. It looks a lot more stable in the corners than the BMW. BMWs look a little bit more twitchy. But I also know that their BMWs have really good front splitter kind of downforce. You can really tweak it and hone it in depending on the circuit. Around here, it's a bit of a 50-50 mix. You want it, but you don't want it, because it will also affect your straight line speed. So what can Coulson do here to get themselves ahead of Sobek? And there is Kursk, who got tangled up with Lloyd at the very beginning. Kursk is on the hard tyre, interestingly, and Lloyd is on the soft. So Lloyd's soft tyre strategy is pretty much ruined already. .66 is also on the hards. Gyring's on the medium, risking the mediums over 45 minutes. There is Lloyd in the background. So he should make light work of catching up to the rear end of Kursk on the hard tyres. And Kursk, losing it there again. Let's see if Lloyd manages to keep it under control this time. Yes, he does. A lot tighter line this time around. So here is our race leader. 42 minutes left to go. Fireworks are still going off, apparently. We must have a race winner already. 66 is taking quite a demanding lead in this miniature endurance event. Making that BMW look rather nice and easy to drive. I'm a bit gutted no one's risked the Porsche. One is the best sounding car out of a lot of them by miles. even if it does have heavy tyre wear, it's still quicker than the Ferrari and the BMW, and we've put ballast on it. It's the only car with ballast, or restrictor, sorry. It's got about 3 or 4% restriction, and Skyring runs very wide going into chicanes. Lloyd has already got the gap down to 4.5 seconds to, of course. It will be the middle sector that you'll see Lloyd make up the most ground. As Coulson is still trying to figure out Sobek. And figuring out where would be the right time, place. Oh, as he runs wide there. That will be a track cut, so there will only be one more for Coulson. So he needs to be careful. Of course, smiling on through, and Lloyd actually is now 16 seconds down, not having a good time in the BMW whatsoever. I think clearly the damage now is far too much. Yeah, look at the state of that BMW. That's not driving in a straight line now. Oh, such a shame for Lloyd. He really wanted to start putting in some mega effort into trying to get a championship win at P&R. It will happen at some point as he comes into the pits. His fireworks are going off for him as he enters the pit lane. I feel very sorry for Lloyd. As we head back on track, Coulson is still half a second behind Sobek. So the BMW is clearly a lot nicer in Sector 1 compared to the Ferrari. Seems to be where Sobek's making the ground. But Letterme currently leading the charge for Team Ferrari, and that camper van has definitely got a problem with spitting out that many fireworks. Oh, and Skyring's off! Oh, and that's heavy damage! Oh, and he's just inflicted some more. This is 66's dream again. This is basically the Ultimate Sim Racer all over again, but this time for 66. So in the Ultimate Sim Racer series that we did previously or recently, Skyring needed to beat everyone to win the championship, but everyone else decided to just drop off a cliff and crash or spin or anything like that, really. And now Skyring's right at the very back, and that's some heavy front end damage. That BMW is not going to be pleasant to drive. Lloyd is back on track with a lot of ground to gain, and medium tyres are being put on the car, so clearly the softs were not working for him. So now he's just going for the long haul and just seeing what they can bring. 66 is clearly going for a no-stop strategy on the hard tyre. We'll have to wait and see what everybody else is doing. Coulson coming out of the final corner, getting a nice drive there on Sobek. Only 1/10 quicker though. You need to be a little bit faster than that to get by, really. And Skyring is staying out with the damage. So clearly he feels it's not hindering him too bad. In fact, if we watch him through Eau Rouge and Rayon, or Rayon Eau Rouge, I can't remember quite which way round it is. It seems to be good enough. Downforce still seems to be there. And there is Skyring. It's coming into the S's now. And Lloyd has already got the gap down by 20 seconds. I'm not quite sure how on earth he's done that, but he has. Okay. Interesting. So I'm just going to assume that the telemetry data on the left hand side wasn't quite accurate earlier. for Lloyd, so he's 1 minute 6 behind. Now, if the rest of the field have to pit for tyres and maybe repair damage, because clearly the downforce is affecting Skyring's car, you just saw it then. He might be have a chance to gain some positions back. Very nicely done. So let's go back for the battle now for P3. So we're on board with the Prancing Pony. 66 can just chill now because Letterme's in P2. But Letterme won't mind that at all. He'll take that. If it ended it right now, I think Letterme would be a very happy driver. At the moment, it's Team Ferrari doing the business. Again, not quite sure why we've got so many fireworks as Coulson tries to look for a way around Sobek. Sobek not really giving him the angle. You can see Skyring is also trying to find the right way through. Coulson's lost a bit of time there. The slip doesn't seem to really exist in these cars either. Skyring is losing time down the straight. So the Ferrari's clearly the faster car in a straight line. Or the fact that that front downforce is really affecting him. Lloyd has already got the gap down by a second, but there's only 34 seconds to go. He needs to do it 2 seconds a lap really for the rest of the race. And that's going to be quite hard to do with the cars in front. 66 in the meantime. Is pulling away more and more from Levy. You can see Skyring's definitely getting closer for the charge. He's probably feeling a little bit of the heat now on the hard tyre. But in reality, oh, look at the rear end of that Ferrari step out there. That'll make Skyring smile. But can he make anything of it into the chicane? And Coulson is two close areas here. Oh, and Coulson runs wide. But what can Skyring do? Going into the chicane. Pulls out of it. Pulls out of it. So, to me, it looked like Skyring had the charge then, but Course runs wide out of the final corner. Almost collects Skyring, but Skyring makes his way through. As Course has just set his personal best of the race so far at 2:25. Coulson again is right on the rear end of that BMW. So we go. Oh, and the BMW's run massively wide and hit the wall. This is going to be easy pickings here for Coulson. Sobek has got some heavy damage, I think. Oh, I got a funny feeling that's going to be a retiree. Yep, he's removed back to pits. It's just the angle that he caught that chicane at. It's going to be very problematic for Sobek. Hopefully he's just getting it fixed and gets straight back out there. At the end of the day, Lloyd is about to come through, but that interval time is not correct at all. And through he comes. So he just needs to keep it going. Oh, such a shame for Sobek. Such a shame, but you just saw the contact with the tyre wall. Probably broken the front left suspension. But he did the right thing, pulled over to the side, teleported back to the pits. Got to move done, and now the timer's just updated to say that Lloyd has passed Sobek. And Sobek is still in the server, so it's not over for Sobek yet, as 66 just crosses the start-finish line. Our race leader on the hard tyres. Putting in some good, consistent slaps. You can just relax for the next half an hour, to be honest. Lemmy comes over the line in the purple-pink P&R Ferrari. Good drive here from the Belgian. I was going to say that, he almost gets it wrong. Now Skyring has got within a second of Coulson ahead, so can Skyring get back on the podium over the next few laps? That broken BMW still seems to be working okay. Sobek is still in the pits, either repairing the damage or just deciding not to come back out. Oh, you can see the front end damage really now. In fact, if I turn on tyres, we might be able to see the actual person's tyre life. No, we can only see mine. Oh, it's a shame. That would have been good, wouldn't it? If we could see what their tyre life was. Skyring has lost a lot of time here. That lap, so sadly is falling down. Lloyd still making waves. Not quite going fast enough though. Sobek is still in the pits. That's a hefty repair, that, if it's going to be taking 4 minutes. .66. Currently going through Rouge and Radio. And it is a bit lonely for here 66. So if you're watching this for the first time, you think, you know what, I could have this guy. Click the link in the description below. You can see all of our events, whether it's the GT2 World Championship, the PNTCC, which is tomorrow night, or our Porsche multi-class, and get signed up. It's free to do so on the World Sim Series website. If you've got a Google account, it's very easy. You just simply log in with Google and away you go. The only thing you need to do is a few of the WSS licensing agreements or tasks and challenges, and you'll be able to join our events. Not tricky at all. But the more the merrier. The more of you there are, the more I have to commentate. But it is Sunday night. I was expecting the stream to be a little bit quiet, to be honest. It's like I said, here in the UK, it is Guy Fawkes night. Lots of fireworks, lots of bonfires. Lots of reasons to have a good and drink and be merry. Course is slowly catching up to Skyring. Oh, and Coulson has fallen down, sorry. I've just noticed that. Skyring's moved into P3. Coulson must have had an incident and had an off. Lloyd has got down to sub 1 minute because of it. So that'll be puckering Lloyd up quite a lot. I don't see any damage though, so it must have just been a spin. Got away with it. And Lloyd is red there, so he's had another off. He's not getting on with that BMW at all. Clearly not as nice as our GTR that we were driving the other day. Sobek is slowly coming out onto the track. I think he's just waiting for people to go by. I think he's just waiting for people to go by, get into clear track, and off he'll go. There we go. Very sporting of Sobek there. That's very nice of him. And well done for not giving up. Well done, well done. Real good sportsmanship there for Sobek. Just hope he doesn't do it again. I was going to say he'd be on cold tyres right now as well, so he needs to take it easy for the first lap or two. But well done Sobek for getting back out there. So we have less than 25 minutes remaining. Here is our race leader, 66. And he's clearly finding it rather easy. Lap after lap after lap. Timetable, let's have a little look. So the best lap at the moment by 66 is a 2:20.7, so only 2 seconds off his fastest lap. Skyring for 1:21.7, and the rest of the field are in the 23s and 24s, so just quite simply not good enough to challenge the likes of 66. But who knows, next week we may have more contenders who will be able to battle it out with the PNR community. And like I said, the more of you, the merrier. If you are in the stream, say hello. The machine's on P1, of course. Indeed, indeed. The absolute machine that is 66 is currently P1, driving away. To fair, he's having it quite easy because Skyring did spin off early in the race, giving himself some heavy front and downforce issues, as you can see there. And around Spa, you need downforce. And of course, it's just set their personal best of the race on the hard tyres. So clearly, the hard tyres, randomly, 22 minutes into the race, are starting to wake up. Oh, he's even had to drop it down a gear there to help keep the car turned in. That's interesting. Coulson was in P3. I don't see any damage to that Ferrari, so it must have just been a bit of an off track in the spin. Lloyd is not having a great time, period. Had a moment in T1 where he either lit up the rear end and spun it round, or got tapped and sadly collected with Kursk, who is currently P4, soldiering on. Ooh, really, really awkward line into that corner. That was very shallow and knocking up the front right, so I think the brake bias is far too forwards. Far too forwards. Needs to come back a little bit, Kursk. And Sobek, who was in fact in P3 before Coulson was in P3, sadly misjudged running on Le Rouge, or had a lot of well, to be fair, he just had a lot of understeer and sadly clipped. It wasn't really a hit, well, it was a hit, but he hit the front left of his BMW, which shattered the front left suspension. Sadly, that was pretty much the race over for them. We'll see way more lockups tomorrow. I think we will in the PNTCC, that is for sure. So as I said, we got 20 minutes left to go. Let's take a quick look at the events that we have starting again this week. Here's the Porsche Multi-Class starting on Wednesday nights at 8:30 GMT. Well, as you can see, you're watching right now the GT2 World Championship here at Pro Ninja Racing. Bit good, no one's used a Porsche. And tomorrow night is the big one. It's the PNR Touring Car Championship, starting at 8:30 in the evening GMT, using the World Touring Car Championships 2022 cars. So back we go. Coulson is moved out and Lettermy is in the pits. So Lettermy clearly feels like... Oh, Lettermy's had a big off. Lettermy has got a broken windshield here. Oh no. And he was sitting so nicely in P2. And that is it for them. Oh, Lettermy. So Lloyd might gain another position here, purely from other people making errors. These GT2s are not the easiest to drive, admittedly. They'll say they're not very nice, they're horrible. This is all to get their skill up. So Lettermy is sadly in his pit stop. In fact, he's come straight back out already. So has he got the damage fixed? We'll wait for him to go through Radion Le Rouge. Yeah, look at that. All fixed with the PNR Ferrari. Back in P5. Looks like Lloyd is not going to be lucky enough to get in position, although he is only 28 seconds behind. Go on board with Lloyd. Let's see if he's flat through Rouge and Radion. He should be in these cars, really. Yeah, easy. Look at that. Easy, easy, easy. And I think Lloyd might have some... Well, he's just weaving about a bit. I think he's just a little bit bored, bless him. But there we go. How did your F1 race go, by the way? Did you do well? I'm asking that in chat if you're watching this later on. I'm asking if his F1 race went well. No. If it went well. Hopefully it did. So 18 minutes left. This field is quite spread. It's not really any action to talk about like that. Unless somebody has an off. And that must be Solbeck coming through. Yeah, it is. Solbeck coming around T1 now. Fair play to Solbeck for keeping going. We're going P10 of 10. Who finished? That's the important thing. Oh, and Coulson's got a drive through for cutting. Oh no. So that could, well, that would probably be about 25 seconds, 25, 30 seconds. So Lettermy might push that extra bit harder now to try and catch up. But the reality is, he's still going to be about 10 to 14 seconds behind. A race to forget was turned by someone on T3 already. Ah, flipping heck. Mark wanted to cheat, not okay. Says Bums in chat. It's very true, but it's just like Daytona. There's only 2 track cuts. So in these next few events, we're really going to be cutting down on the off tracks. Really cutting down on the off tracks. Oh, and Colley's not having a good time with this Ferrari. Is he going to do it now? He is, so he is going to go in now. Where is Letterme? Oh, quite far behind still, to be fair. I think Coulson's absolutely fine here. If it was the full pit stop, I think Coulson would be a little bit worried, but there's nothing to worry about that. In Dotano, I got one in the bus stop, although I got down to around 50 kilometers to avoid the warning. Did you? Well done. Mark Coulson's drive-through is done. Where is Letting Me on track? Creating a whole course of his own, I think. Oh, what happened there? Letting Me, come on. He's pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to catch up to Coulson. Oh, that's happening. It's putting him further and further back. Lloyd is 29 seconds behind Letterme. I don't think much is going to become of that either. Skyring has fallen down to 40 seconds. So Skyring must have had a moment as well. Everyone, bar the AI that is 66, has been having moments in this race. Goes. Let's take a lap on board with our race leader. Stay on board. What cameras have we got for on board? This is a good one. BMW does sound fairly generic, but it's kind of a nice generic. So he's just not working the tyres too hard. Using the engine braking along with the traditional brakes there. Look at how relaxed this is. So smooth. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do it. Smooth, calm, carrying as much speed through the corners as feel comfortable. And he's just gaining time on Skyring. I'm not quite sure what Skyring. Oh, it must be the damage. It must be the damage really taking effect now on those medium tyres. The tyres must be dying off. You can just see how the car doesn't quite act the same for Skyring as it does for 66. Let's take a look at our P3 driver cores right now. They'll be super happy so far with how it's going. super happy. If they can get P3 in the first round of this league, they will be very, very happy with that. Especially after being collected at the very beginning. But we will review the incident after the race. Whoa! Get the car straight, of course, when you're putting down the power. Get the car nice and straight, get it pointing the way that you want it to go. Then get your power down. It won't be so bad. You just heard the front right there locking. To be fair, I don't think the GT3s are that much slower around here, are they? I don't think. I mean, they're doing... These people are doing 220s, 224s. I think GT3s are around about the same sort of area, aren't they, really? So maybe these are GT3 cars, and we may have to redo this whole championship. Obviously keep this result, but just redo it. Don't know. P4 we have Coulson. Lemmy only 11 seconds behind now, so Lemmy clearly on the charge with 9 minutes left to go. I'm sure they were quite far behind Coulson. Bye. Whoa. Very nice. Very nice. And here is Lloyd, who's not had the best of days. Disqualification in the 3-hour Daytona race. That was both our faults, really. See, it says GT2 on the side of that car. GT2. GT3. Lloyd losing time to Fabrice. Yeah, I think Lloyd's got a bit of a damaged BMW. And I don't really think Lloyd is pushing either after the sort of race start that he had. I will show you the race start after the race, so we can take a quick, better look at what happened to Lloyd. Because it looked like everyone got off to a great start, but then something happened at T1. Nothing malicious, I don't think. But it just went downhill for Lloyd, sadly. And the car behind, I believe, is 66, but here is Sobek. And if you want to see the definition of a warrior in the Pretty Ninja community, this is it right here. 2 laps down, 45-minute race, a fun league. You know, there's no prizes, there's no money, but not giving up and keeping going. So we have 7 minutes remaining. Here is your race lead, just going around T1, as we can see that Lloyd is just ahead of them. I think Lloyd will probably just move out of the way for them fairly soonish. Awesome. Lloyd taking as much curbing as possible. It's a long camera shot. But it does look like it's going to be Team BMW's day today. He has got the gap down to a solid 9 seconds, and 66 running wide there. 66 needs to be careful. If he got a drive through now and didn't serve it, he would lose a minute at the end of the race. But if he took it, he would lose around about 30 seconds. So actually, to be fair, either way, he'd be fine. Regardless. Oh, and he runs wide there as well. And Lemmy has got the gap down to 4 seconds. There is Coulson at the top of the hill. Lemmy smells the blood like a great white shark of Coulson. Can Lettermy reach Coulson and get past? That's the key thing, and get past before the end of the race. Lloyd just sets his personal best with 4 minutes remaining of the race. So that kind of goes to show what sort of race it has been for Lloyd. Lettermy down into sector 2 now. Oh, and he's kind of ruined it there. That's going to be a few temps lost now. Unless Coulson did something like similar. I think Coulson must have done something similar because it's not really affected Lettermy. If anything, Lettermy's gained time. So Coulson must have had a bit of a funny off there as well. You can see Collie struggling with the Ferrari, so maybe the tyres on that Ferrari are slowly or pretty much gone. And because Fabrice had a chance to repair his car, he might be on fresher rubber. There's 2.5 seconds left with 3 minutes remaining. I think Lemmy could do this here. There goes Coulson. There goes Lemmy. This is the battle for P4. And it'll be the battle for P4 in the championship because this is round 1 after all. Heavy on the brakes goes Coulson. Nice controlled. Fabrice. The fireworks have been going off all race. They are that happy to have a GT2 race here at Spa that the fireworks have been going off from the moment the race started. And that was 2 seconds quicker that lap. Lemmy was 2 seconds faster than Coulson. So by the end of this lap, he should be right on the rear end of Coulson now. And I think Coulson knows it. Oh, look at the wash there. That Ferrari was not happy. But has got one hell of a slip. Look at the time come down. That's half a second. Wow. Down the Camel Straight, I believe it's called, if I remember rightly. And now Lettermy, with 2 minutes left to go, is on the rear gearbox of Coulson. So can the P&R Ferrari of Lettermy track limits? Do you reckon it was track limits? He did let off, didn't he? Oh, and Coulson run wide again. Come on, camera. Change. Why have we got these cameras? I want to see what's going on. And Coulson runs a little bit wide again. That Ferrari in front is not happy. Must be tired, Egg. Oh, it's let me. Bit of a nervous twitch out to the left. Oh, sees line up the rear tyres. I think he'll have him here down into the chicane. You can see Lemmy is laser focused, already preempting the next gear shift. He's barely keeping his hand on the steering wheel. Look at this, he's one-handed. Oh, he does run a little bit wide there. Coulson goes for the defence. Lemmy with the better tyres. He's trying to go around the outside, but I don't think it's going to quite work. Coulson just does enough to defend it off. We're now heading into the final lap. Where is our race leader? Coming down the back straight now. So Lemmy has this lap to do it. Although I actually think 66 is going to make it to the line in time, you know? So it'll be this one plus one, I think. We'll find out. Although Lemmy is insanely close to Coulson. What a camera angle. Oh, look at it. It's a drag race. Lemmy seems to have his nose in front. Coulson has succeeded. Oh, and he's gone onto the grass. So this is Lemmy's. The job is done. And the purple Nurple P&R Ferrari takes the race lead as 66 just crosses over the line in time to start another lap. Does Coulson have an answer? I don't think he will. I think those tyres are just... Look at that. It's already down to half a second. Well, no, it's now to 2 tenths. So Coulson might have a response here if those tyres have any life left back in them. Collie is not giving up. Nor should he. Oh, and Lemmy runs wide, and so does Coulson. Now, what can Coulson... Wait, remember Alonso today. You know what? I haven't actually seen the full highlights of that yet. And Coulson, is, again, just like Lemmy beforehand, is right on the gearbox. But I think those fresher tyres of Lemmy's just helping him pull away just that little bit. Bit more of a slippery Ferrari. Oh my god, Coulson is trying to carry so much speed, but in doing so he's kind of put him a little bit further behind now. One more lap to go. Now 66 won't be too far away from the start finish line now. And here is our race leader. 19 laps, 45 minutes. It's been an absolute breeze for 66. And he crosses over the finish line to take the first victory of the GT2 World Championship. So good job. And Coulson's now a second behind. I don't think there's going to be any response this lap from Coulson unless Lettermy makes any mistakes. Lloyd comes over to finish P6. Lloyd would be disappointed, realistically. Skyring is going to be next to come across the line. I'm just keeping an eye on that interval between Coulson and Lettermy. Curry sitting at the 1 second, 1.5 second moment, and here comes Skyring. Recovery drive to P2. Got quite lucky with a few instances happening in front of him, but good recovery drive nonetheless. Kursk is going to be incredibly happy as long as he doesn't kill his engine between now and the start finish line. And into the final chicane he goes, and to be fair, he's had a bump on the front, But I think that was from lap 1. And Kursk is going to come over the line to take P3. The Polish driver is going to be incredibly happy with that one. Look at that. Great result for Kursk. And Sobek, the warrior, crossed the line to take P7. Well done for finishing. That sounded like a lot of hard work. And Letamy is going to take P4 quite easily in the end. Coulson gave it his best shot, but I don't think the tyres were helping him out. But Letamy, after having to go to the pits after being in P2 for so long, manages to recover P4 and Coulson crossed the line into P5. Captured it. See if we can get Jammer's car. No, don't think we did. But there is your race winner, 66. Great result for 66. Skyring takes P2. Kursk has already left the server and gets P3. Oh, what a good event that was. Lots of moments happening there. A lot of people, I think, are going to be disappointed in their performance realistically, but we will take a look at the replay momentarily. Let me just see if it's already... Well, I won't have validated the results just yet. So whilst we are waiting for the results to validate, let's take a look at that replay and see what happened in T1. So the driver we're looking out for is Jamski in the dark blue and green BMW. Let's go with that one. There we go. So let's just watch from here. He just lights it up. Take Corks out for dinner. Just lights up the rear tyres. The BMW on its cold tyres just did not want to lay any traction down on the green AstroTurf, for want of a better expression. Oh, you guys can't see this yet, can you? Of course. Silly Muppet. Right. So here we go. This is Lloyd going into T1. All nice and neat by everybody. In fact, I think that's Coulson there just going onto the grass. And the BMW's rear end just goes. You can see the steering correction trying to happen. And Kursk, sadly, was just a complete passenger in all of that then. And if we look on board, Kursk had no time to react whatsoever. That green had no grip at all in any car. And sadly, that was, even though Kursk managed to get P3 at the end of all of that. But look at that, it happened. No bother. Get back on it. Off you go. 45 minutes left to go. And away they went. Now, what happened to Jay Skyring? So Jay Skyring, if we fast forward it quite some bit, in fact, let's go to... So we can see the damage has happened. No damage has happened. Let's see what happens to Jay Skyring from being in P2 quite comfortably. So we can see Letamy there in the background in the purple and purple Ferrari, P&R Ferrari. Oh, and completely, again, just the green lining. Just lit up the rear tyres in that BMW. And off they went. So that's what put Jay Skyring all the way towards the back. So Letterme also did have a race incident later in the race. So let's see if we can find where it might have been. That car looks nice and fixed now. So when it doesn't, so here we go. Oh no, that's him pulling into the bits. So here we go. Drag, 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 drag. So we're going into the S's. Looks absolutely fine here. Looks absolutely fine there. Again, looks absolutely fine there. So where... Oh, the rear end just snaps. Just literally steps out on you. There's nothing in particular that I can kind of see that happens. I don't think you touch the curb on the inside. Nope, the rear end just steps out. You just have a snap of oversteer. You try to catch it, and in doing so, just snaps you into the barrier. Oh, that's a hefty hit. That is a big, big heifer of a hit. So that's where 66 lost a lot of time. Now if we go, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, just here, and this was Sobek. Bless Sobek. This is not what you want when you're going through Eau Rouge and Rayon. So down into the crest, over the top right, just takes too much curb, the car gets spat out, and just that clip of the wall was enough to damage the front left suspension. That was quite a heavy hit realistically. Let's see if I can just go to... Hang on, let's go back a bit. So we can see he just rides a little bit too much curb on the inside. Bounces the car off weight, 2 wheels off the ground. In fact, 4 wheels probably came off the ground there actually. And quite honestly, he did very well to hold it, but it was always going to happen. Letterme doing well to avoid the crash into the wall. You'll see the purple Nurple P&R Ferrari go by in just a moment. Oh no, that's Coulson, sorry. That is Coulson that's just gone by. My mistake. And there is Kursk in the background, and you can see it there. Because indeed we were actually on board with Coulson when it happened. So from my recollection, apart from maybe a couple more, that is all the sort of major instances that happened throughout that race. But otherwise, it was an easy win for 66. As we'll just take a little look at the overall standings, if we may. Yes, we can. Now, interestingly, it's handed out less points. We'll have to have a look at that in a moment. In the meantime, 66 is on top with 12 points. Skyring with 10. Kursk with 8. Letterme with 6. Coulson with 4. And Lloyd with 2 and Sobek with none. Now all of them should have got points, so I'm going to look into why that is. I got a funny feeling, even though I usually untick the effect, yeah, we unticked the offer less depending on driver's amount, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there, so I'll have to have a look. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, tomorrow night is the P&R Season 4 of the Touring Car Championship. On Wednesday nights, it's the Porsche Multi-Class, the Porsche Sprint Class, and the Cayman GT4s, all depending on your license on WSS. And tonight you'll watch round 1 of the GT2 World Championship. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. Now, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.